àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ọlẹ́tìkẹ́ o ó ti wá lágbára báyìí o. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ mi nílé lóko lájò níbikíbi tẹ́ bá ti ń wò mí. Mo bẹ̀ yín ni mo rọ̀ yín ni o, ẹ bá mi pín ètò yìí kó lọ dáadáa. Ohun tá a tún wá fún yín yìí ó lágbára. Mo fẹ́ kí a jọ fìdílé nǹkan ká jọ gbọ́. Mo fẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ ohun tí mo mú wá fún wa yìí. Ẹ má gbé kú, ẹ jẹ́ ká fara balẹ̀ kí a jọ gbọ́ ohun tí mo mú wá fún wa yìí. Bóyá a dì zónù àwọn northern àbá ní dì zónù wọn. Mo fẹ́ kí a jọ fara balẹ̀ gbọ́ ohun tí mo fẹ́ play fún wa yìí. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, mo bẹ̀ yín ni mo rọ̀ yín ni. Ẹ̀yin olùfẹ́ mi, mo bẹ̀ yín ni mo rọ̀ yín ni. Lórí ìkànnì Ìbíyẹmí TV show náà ni ẹyẹ méjì kì í jà sá o. Èmi náà ni o. Mo tún mú tuntun wá fún yín. Tuntun tí mo mú wá fún yín. Tuntun tí mo mú wá fún yín tẹ́ bá gbọ́ ẹ mọ̀ pé lóòótọ́ ni kò yẹ ká bá àwọn northern ṣe papọ̀. Torí ìwà wa ò jọra wa, ìṣesí wa ò jọra wa, oúnjẹ tá à ń jẹ kò papọ̀. Báwa ṣe ń hùwà kọ́ làwọn ṣe ń hùwà. Bí àwọn ọmọ kóòtù òjìrè ṣe ń hùwà, òun kọ́ làwọn ṣe ń hùwà. Ẹ̀mí èèyàn jọ àwa lójú, ẹ̀mí èèyàn jọ àwọn lójú. Ṣé ẹ ti rí pé ó yàtọ̀? Kí ló wá dé? Kí lajá wọn bẹ́kùn wá ṣe báyìí? Àbí tí lajá wọn tí bẹ́kùn wọn ṣe? Ọmọ Yorùbá, ìbádá ká ronú, ìbádá ká jí lójú ohun wa ká mọ̀ nǹkan tá à ń ṣe. Àsìkò wake up láwà yìí, àsìkò sọ tinú ẹ̀ láwà yìí. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká parọ́ fúnra wa, ẹ má jẹ́ ká tanra wa mọ́. Bó bá ṣe ń lọ, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa sọ fúnra wa. Ṣé gbọ́? Fídíò tí mo mú wá fún wa yìí, tẹ́ bá gbọ́ nǹkan tó wà nínú ẹ̀, ẹ yanu, ẹ wá surprise. Ṣé ti gbọ́? Ẹ má gbé kú o, ẹ má gbé kú o, ẹ farabalẹ̀ bá mi gbọ́ ohun tó wà nínú nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ play fún wa yìí. Ṣé ti gbọ́? Ẹ ṣé gan ni, ẹ jẹ́ ká mọ bá a ká lọ.
Talking about the conflict going on in the Middle East between Iran, the United States, and Israel. Northerners are saying that Nigeria stands with Iran. I repeat, talking about the conflict going on in the Middle East between Iran, the US, and Israel. Northerners in Nigeria are saying that Nigeria as a country stands with Iran. Please, let us be guided. Nigeria does not stand with Iran. It is Northern Nigeria stands with Iran or Northern.
Ṣé àwọn northern line yẹn pé nǹkan ṣe wọ́n? Àgàtà fi sọ pé kò jẹ́ káwọn bá wọn ṣe papọ̀ nìyẹn. Kò yẹ ká jọ wà papọ̀ pàápàá. Kí ló kàn wá pẹ̀lú Iran? Ṣàfáàmì pẹ̀lú Iran ni. Wọ́n jẹ́ wá ń jà ní Iran. Bó ló ṣe kàn wá nílẹ̀ Yorùbá àbí ní Nàìjíríà? Òun lẹ́gbọ̀n pé àwọn èpè yìí ọpọlọ wọn ti lọ, wọn mọ nǹkan tí wọ́n ṣe. Bá àlákàyè gẹ́gẹ́ bí èdè wọn, bá àlákàyè.
Muslims stand with Iran. If Saudi Arabia, the birthplace of Islam, is supporting US over Iran, who are those in Northern Nigeria to tell us that?
Ẹni tó jẹ́ ẹlẹ́sìn kan náà pẹ̀lú wọn ń support Amẹ́ríkà president, ń support US. Èwo ni tiwa? Èwo ni ti àwọn Northern? Èwo ni ti àwọn Haúsá àbáwọn Fúlàní lápè wọn ni? Tí àwọn Fúlàní ni wọ́n. Èwo ni tiwọn pẹ̀lú Iran?
Nigeria is a country. Nigeria is not an Islamic country. Even we have more Islamic countries supporting the US against Iran. So if you see a Northerner saying that Nigeria stands with Iran, it is either that person is a terrorist sympathizer, is a Muslim Northerner. In fact, Northern Christians don't support Iran. You know why they support Iran? It is because Iran sponsors, reports have it that Iran sponsors extremism in Nigeria. Yes. Let's look at this. The Islamic movement in Nigeria, led by Ibrahim El-Zakzaky, is being sponsored by Iran. Extremist ideologies is being sponsored by Iran in the north. That is why you see an average Northerner will come and post on social media and say, Nigeria stands with Iran. In fact, Nigeria stands with the US much more in practice than Iran. what ties does Nigeria have with Iran? The reasons why you see US base in Nigeria today, it is because of the statement made by Shetima at the United Nations General Assembly supporting Palestine, supporting Hamas over Israel. That is why US now said, okay, because of this statement, let us build a base in Nigeria through Christian genocide. Let us put our torchlight, our focus on Nigeria. So Northerners should not make careless statement. In fact, we have Afghanistan fighting Pakistan. So let me ask my Northern brothers, then who are they going to support between Afghanistan and Pakistan? If Saudi Arabia, whereby tomorrow now, this same Northerners will say we are going to Hajj. You go for Hajj, you go into Saudi Arabia to perform your Hajj, a country that does not support terrorists. You see, most people that are supporting Iran in Nigeria, most of them are terrorist sponsors. Yes, terrorist sympathizers. They support Hamas. I know Israel is not absolved of anything. Israel is wicked though. But when we talk about Nigeria as a country, our interest, don't bring Iran as a central. The Nigerian government has not spoken that we are supporting this and that. Now the African Union put out a statement. You see, the escalating war going on between Iran, US and Israel is going to have negative impact on Africa. I tell you. That is why I've been saying Africa needs to be united and speak with one voice. Let us eliminate the Fulani threat. Nigeria will have been a better place without the Fulani. Southern Nigeria, we need to unite, because if the Third World War starts, Nigeria now, we are already divided. Sentiment. Southern Nigeria is naturally supporting US. The North is supporting Iran. So what would be our, how would we come together to protect ourselves while we are not one in Nigeria? Let's look at what the African Union is saying. But as we speak, let me be sincere with you. America may not win this war. That is my own take. Don't underrate Iran. Iran has a lot of missiles, ballistic missiles. Trump put out a statement and said that they will never ever allow Iran possess nuclear weapons. I repeat, they will never ever allow Iran possess nuclear weapons. If they allow Iran possess nuclear weapons, it is going to be a threat to Americans, and they will give opportunity. The actions, the strikes, the bombing of Iran will be an opportunity for the citizens in Iran to take over the government. As we speak, we have the Islamic regime controlling Iran, and most of the people are not in support of the Islamic regime. In fact, as Israel and America is bombing Iran, people are rejoicing on the streets of Iran that the US is coming to their aid, because most of them do not agree with the Islamic regime. So looking at it, the US is saying that we are giving you people an open window. We will try our best to destroy the Islamic regime in Iran so that the people can take over. This is once in a lifetime opportunity. Look at that statement. Once in a lifetime opportunity. That does not mean that America is certain. Anything can go wrong. So let's leave it at that. But for some elements in Nigeria to tell us that Nigeria say, please, we don't want them, we don't stand with Iran. If the Islamic countries in the Middle East don't stand with Iran, what right does Nigeria have to stand with Iran? It tells us that most of these elements in northern Nigeria, they are terrorist sympathizers. Most of them support terrorism. Yes. Because what does Iran contribute to the country called Nigeria? Iran has rich oil. Iran has missiles. Iran supports ideological Islamic extremism, religious extremism in Nigeria. And religious extremism gives birth to terrorist organizations. You see El-Zazaki and the Islamic movement in Nigeria, most of them is in Ibadan. Most of them is in, you see all these extremist scholars. They are being sponsored by the Islamic regime of Iran. So the terrorism we are facing today is being sponsored by some of these countries. Yes, if you ask a Muslim now, okay, Pakistan and Afghanistan is fighting. Who do you support? They will keep quiet. They'll be asking you that should be Ukraine and Russia is fighting. Who do you support? But you have brought a religious extremism to this whole thing. The reason why you see America attacking Iran is because of nuclear weapons, and they are not friends with the Islamic regime of Iran. And Iran does not give a heck. They don't even send the United States. So Israel and United States, they are joining hands together to make sure that they bring down the regime. Trump said, the people in Iran, please stay in your safe houses. We are going to be targeting these facilities. Israel will be targeting military bases, critical infrastructures, those ones that can launch missiles. While America will be targeting where those nuclear weapon plants are, those places that they are enriching uranium. So what is the African Union saying? You see now how important we need to unite as Africans. Yes. If Africans were to unite, we are one of the most powerful people in the continent. But you come to Africa now, US and co, all of them, they use us as baby. Look at how US got into Nigeria. We don't have anything, we cannot withstand them. We don't have technology. Forget what the Gragra True is doing. You do Gragra. US tell us, say, welcome Nigeria. US, they do propaganda. Remember when Nigeria government was doing propaganda, there's no Christian inside. Trump don't look them. At the end of the day, what happened? They are in Nigeria, in Bauchi. They got into Bauchi, and insecurity increased in Bauchi. See, people are not trying to understand what is going on. That is why we need sovereignty as a country. That's why when I talk about Southern Nigeria, we need to unite and say Yoruba are superior over Igbo people, blah blah blah. When there's a third world war, you now know that the colonialists, all those people, they see us as nothing. You can't see when they want to treat you, they treat you all as the same. So it is better you all fight. Look at your differences and unite together and become a strong bloc. I said it before that somebody said if we have Biafra will be one of blah 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 blah. When they start third world war, another time you know say you mean nothing. They can just send one missile into Biafra. You cannot be allied. Look at the junta. They are not aligning with US, but Niger is closer to Nigeria. Abi? Niger is aligning. Let's say it's aligning with China and Russia. But because they are Nigeria and Nigeria, they are not in the same page. The enemies of Niger are now using Nigeria as a base. US is in Bachi. US does not want military regime in Africa. Yes. So because they are not united, if Niger and Nigeria were united, Nigeria will not allow US to use Nigeria as a base. So the enemies of Niger Republic and other junta are in a neighboring country. Just like if you have Otuti Republic and Biafra Republic, and they have different alignment. Biafra support this, Otuti support this. Now if they want to target Otuti Republic, they use Biafra because of proximity. So when we talk about unity, as if the Muslim world is united with Iran against the US, as if the Muslim world is united with Iran against the US, it will be difficult for the US to bully Iran. I'm not going to be partial with this statement. Iran also deserves to have their nuclear weapons the way America has nuclear weapons. You are saying that if Iran has nuclear weapon, it's going to kill Americans. No. Pakistan has nuclear weapon. North Korea has nuclear weapon. How many people Pakistan don't kill with their nuclear weapon? You know, if you, for instance, let Nigeria say we want to have nuclear weapon. Let Nigeria say, as a country, we want to enrich uranium, want to build facilities, want to start having a nuclear enrichment. You will see what the US will tell you. Look at how the US enter Nigeria, the Christian genocide. They use Christian genocide, come build base for their other activities in West Africa and the sub-Sahara route. If Nigeria say we want to be independent, you will see the recall of US. US will tell you say you cannot have nuclear weapons. You cannot develop beyond the scope at which we want you to develop. So let us open our hearts. Because we know that because of the Islamic regime, there's a tendency for them to use these Islamic jihadists to start striking the whole world. You see, because they know that if they start using nuclear weapons, it is going to affect them also. Countries that have nuclear weapons, we have India, we have North Korea, we have Russia, we have China, we have the US. I don't think Israel is amongst those countries. Why are they not? Why? Okay, Afghanistan and Pakistan, they are fighting against themselves. Why is it that Pakistan is not using nuclear weapons against Afghanistan? Because it knows that if you use this nuclear weapon, then he has declared a war on the world and itself. So nuclear weapons is okay. You have a gun, I have a gun. We look at ourselves, we respect ourselves. You not having nuclear weapons means America has a gun. You have a bow and arrow. America can threaten you and bully you at any point in time. America is the bully of the world. Having said that, let's focus on Northern Nigeria. Now, what is the African Union saying? Let me read this. The African Union Commission has expressed concern over the reported military strikes involving the United States and Israel against targets in Iran, warning that the escalation could deepen instability in the Middle East and have wider global consequences. In a statement issued from Addis Ababa, the AU called for restraint, urgent de-escalation, and sustained diplomatic dialogue, urging all parties to act in line with international law and the United Nations Charter. The Commission noted that further conflict could negatively affect energy markets, food security, and economic stability, particularly across African countries. Now, when the price of crude oil goes up, if US or Israel start targeting oil facilities of Iran, when the price of crude oil starts going up, you will say your naira and dollar. Naira has been very, very performing well against the dollar. When they start attacking Iran, their oil facilities, you will say your naira will skyrocket. Your naira can reach 2,000 to a dollar. Because energy prices, OPEC will start taking the price up. So they peg it in dollars, not in naira. So dollar will be appreciating, that the naira will have to fight for its life to stabilize. It depends on how we organize ourselves in Nigeria. We have how many plants are producing oil? Just Dangote. We need to even protect Dangote now. Make sure that policies are in place to make sure Dangote is operating optimally. Dangote is selling to us at 9. Use this analogy. Most financial people in the oil sector, they understand the English I'm saying. Let me put it in a layman understanding. For instance, you sell shoes in Nigeria. That shoes, you import that shoes from America. So you import that shoes so $1. You come into Nigeria, you change it into Nigerian currency. $1 is, let's say, 1.4. To make profit, you sell it 1.5. Now America is having problem. And those shoes now skyrocket. From $1, it enter $2. Remember, your naira to a dollar is 1.4. If you enter $2, your naira will now increase from 1.4 to 2.8. So your economic experts will start cutting this one. They will be adjusting it from before you know naira to $1 will be 1.5, 1.6, 1.7. It will get to 2,000. If the war escalates to the oil facilities in Iran, if it affects Iran, it's going to affect the world though. Mind you, even Russia and Ukraine, they are still fighting. They are still fighting. Venezuela is being occupied by United States politics. So oil facilities will have a lot of problems. It will force OPEC. OPEC is the body in charge of oil in the world. They will peg it maybe from $50, they will peg it to $70 per barrel. So it will take you higher to get. I don't know, this too much explanation itself don't confuse me. The only thing here is that our oil prices will go up. It will affect our economy. Now, For Northerners that are saying they stand with Iran, mind you, Iran does not have any official like contribution like to the Nigerian government. You see, US, they are more aligned with US than even Iran.
Yes, sir.
Nigeria is not an Islamic country. We know that some people will register Nigeria with OIC, Organization of Islamic Countries. Some of the Fulani people, because they seized political power, they used through the back door. They registered Nigeria with OIC. Nigeria is not an Islamic country. Nigeria does not stand with Iran.
Yes.
Nigeria is asking for restraint because we cannot afford Third World War.
Can't.
If America is able to bring down the regime, it is safer for us. If America is able to bring down the Islamic regime of Iran, it is safer for us. But on the other way around, if this war lingers and Iran defends itself, if it lingers from 1 year to 2 years, then it's going to affect Africa because we are an import dependent continent. What do we produce? What do you produce? When you go to Nigeria, you see billionaires. Billionaires are billionaires. They don't add any value.
Yes.
You just take advantage of Namigo, they connect this one.
Yes.
You just like those people in the NERTW. They are billionaires. Why are they billionaires? They are collecting tax. They don't add value. They are not inventors.
Yeah,
they don't own. They don't create anything. They just take advantage of the parasitic nature of Nigeria and Africa and start collecting money. They are just staff collectors. Now, what do we produce? What do we produce? There's nothing. Even our oil facilities are being managed by Oyibo people. For us to have a refinery, we need technology from the Oyibo people to even fix our refinery. There's nothing we have as like as a country. When I see the likes of Tinubu, they go to all of them, they do like this. I'm a billionaire, the richest black man that is not inventing anything.
Yes,
but black man that rely on the invention of others. You know the shame. So that's why we need to get our acts together. Time waits for no one. You see how the African Union is panicking. The Nigerian government cannot say anything. They don't have any mouth to say anything in this particular issue. The one where Shetima go talk, now it cause us problem. Where US use Christian genocide, enter us. Now they have a base in Bauchi. They don't hold us for blockers. They will control us anyhow. They don't get intelligence. As they're in Nigeria, they're getting intelligence. Most of the intelligence they're having I don't know whether Nigerians understand the implications of US having a base in Nigeria under Tinubu's administration because of we have nothing to offer the world. We are just babbling, we just make mouth. Okay? Let's look at these comments. Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, and Qatar must protect their oil facilities with everything they got. Because if Iran starts targeting those strategic locations, then the world is toast. You see, these are countries that is believed to support the United States over Iran. These are Islamic countries, and they have oil facilities. If Iran starts targeting those oil facilities, then the world is toast. Nigeria will need to enter into a strategic agreement with Aliko Dangote. Tinubu promised us that all the refineries will be working. Now we only have one refinery in Nigeria. I told you that APC are propaganda. APC does not have the capacity to give good governance. So forget about other refineries. We're not talking about Kaduna or Warri refinery. It is only Dangote refinery. So Nigeria will need to enter into a strategic agreement with Aliko Dangote, ensuring that crude oil supply to its refinery is properly structured, possibly subsidized, and monetized in a way that allows payment in naira while protecting national revenue. If the conflict in the Middle East drags on, global energy prices could spike significantly, potentially triggering another global recession. However, Nigeria can weather such a shock provided we implement strong preventive and stabilizing economic measure early. This one we have saboteurs in our oil sector. They want the oil to be high. They like importing the NNPC and some other people. All those ones. If there is a strategic plan to protect our oil in Nigeria, then we can survive the shock. But I look at some of these oil importers.
Ó kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin mi tẹ́ ń wò mí látàárọ̀ ẹ ṣé gan ni o ẹ̀yin olùfẹ́ ìbí TV so mo kí yín mo wá gbàdúrà fún yín pé lágbára lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ náà ojú tẹ̀ fún owó ojú náà ní fọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni etí tẹ̀ fi ń gbọ́ wa etí náà wọ́n ní dì ọwọ́ tẹ̀lé bá wa kún ètò yìí ẹ̀ní fọwọ́ náà gbọ́mọ sí o àwa lámọ̀ wá bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni ẹ̀yin náà lámọ̀ dé bá ohun tá a tún mú wá fún yín lọ́jọ́ tó ní lélẹ̀ ṣètìgbọ́ ẹ bá wa wò ó ẹ bá wa gbé yẹ̀ wò ohun tẹ́yìn náà bá rí sí lórí ọ̀rọ̀ náà ẹ jẹ́ ká rí lábẹ́ kọ́mẹ̀ntì yín ṣètìgbọ́ ẹ ṣé gan ni o lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ó kọ́ tẹ̀mí padà Ìbíyẹmí Ọláìtàn tí gbogbo yín mọ̀ sí Ìbíyẹmí TV show ló ń kí gbogbo wa o ó dàbọ̀.